Hey there, it's Rachel Mullins, the host of Hashtag No Filter Fridays on Public House Media.
Hi friends, this is Jeffrey Childs, host of The Cheap Seats, right here on Public House Media. I want to thank you for listening to this following broadcast on Public House Media. And once you're done listening to this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, hosted with Max Wolpoff. We'll talk about the craziest stories in sports, our insight, fresh perspective that you can't get anywhere else. The new show comes out weekly, each Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget, subscribe on iTunes so that you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. You might be in the nosebleed section, but this is one of the best perspectives in the wide world of sports. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
There's no traffic on the extra mile, but there are more speed bumps. Welcome to Completely Serious. That catchphrase was submitted by listener Donna Patricia. Thank you, Donna Patricia, for that submission. Patricia, one of the two. Welcome to Completely Serious. I'm the host with the toast. Seriously, I got some toast in the toaster if you want some. Welcome to Completely Serious for a third time. Great to have you with us. I'm the host with the toast, Ryan Piers, and we are glad to have you alongside us for this early March episode of Completely Serious. There is no debating it. We are in the month of March, and unless you are in a time machine or waited more than 30 days to listen to this podcast, you are also in the month of March. So happy March to you, and happy March to our guest today. The reason you clicked on this podcast, Gerald Bourget. Gerald, thanks for jumping on the podcast. It's so nice to talk hoops with you. I feel like just from the amount of storylines to some of the unpredictable things that have happened, it's been a very interesting year.
Yeah, there's just so many different things going on. You've got the races at the top of each conference with the Rockets and the Warriors in the West, and the Raptors and the Celtics in the East. You've got one of the most epic tank races we've ever seen at the bottom, and then the middle ground for each conference. The playoff picture is just insane right now.
It's like a three-tiered, three different races, really. You mentioned them, too. At the top, we've got some actually talented teams. The middle, they've got that competitive fight for those last couple playoff spots. Then the tank race in the bottom. I feel like we see this almost every season, but this year it's to the extreme, where there's, I think it's 7 or 8 teams with 20 or less wins this year. That's pretty impressive. Impressively bad, I should probably say.
Yeah, in doing the weekly power rankings for the site, I was kind of staggered to look at like the bottom 6 or 7 teams had like a combined 40-game losing streak or something like that heading into Wednesday's games. It's just absurd how bad some of these teams are. And, I guess in the last year before that draft lottery reform kicks in, that makes some sense.
Gerald, editor at Hoops Habit, describe your day. You're editing and posting and reporting on countless NBA happenings. I don't know how you keep your fingers from cramping. You really do a ton of work during the day. Just describe what it's like.
I usually get up in the early morning hours, and basically we have a staff of about 50 part-time contributors, so they're free to write whenever they please. So I basically just go into the queue and take a look at what's there, edit and publish whatever's in there. I kind of update my weekly notes so that when I do my weekly power rankings, I'm up to speed on everything that's going on with each team. I try to send consistent feedback emails to those writers so they can get some of the formatting stuff down, and then also help improve their content and their writing itself. And then in the evening, I'm usually watching the games, or when the Suns are in town, covering those games as well. So there's a lot going on. Then there's, social media stuff as well, and I try to write when I can. But, a lot going on, but it's definitely fun working for a site of this magnitude and meeting so many part-time contributors over the years. So I definitely love what I do.
How many hours of basketball would you say you take in during a day span? I feel like that's like an 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. basketball nonstop day for you.
Yeah, I mean, I usually get to take a little bit of a break in the afternoon, make some food, go to the gym, do stuff like that. But
human stuff.
Yeah, just try to have an active life outside of basketball. But from the editing in the morning and then at night, I'm usually watching as many games as I can during the night, or we've got the picture-in-picture up on the TV all the time with 2 NBA games going at once, pretty much every night. My roommates get kind of sick of it after a while, but such is the job, I guess. I don't know how many hours a day. I guess I probably start watching around 5 when the games start out here, and then they usually end around 11:30. So there's a good 6 hours of basketball every day.
That is a lot. Covering the Phoenix Suns, what's that been like to get to know the players? Any interesting stories from their locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a dream come true to be able to cover the NBA. When I first started working for Hoops Habit, I was a part-time contributor myself in college, and now to be the editor-in-chief of the site and get to cover Suns games for the site is, exactly what I always wanted to do in life. So it's been amazing, and that's, covering one of the worst teams in the league over the last 7 years. So fingers crossed one day the team will get better and there'll be more interesting games to report on. But, they're headed in the right direction. They've got Devin Booker. They've got a lot of young players. So hopefully they're able to nail this upcoming summer and make my life a little more interesting from a journalistic standpoint.
MVP. In case you didn't know, you the listener didn't know, it stands for Most Valuable Player. And right now we have the Beard, James Harden, the King James, LeBron James, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the Brow, Anthony Davis, appear to be the final four, the top four right now for MVP. An interesting collection of players and nicknames, 2 of them involving facial hair. Right now, Gerald, who's your front runner? Who's your favorite to take that award?
I think right now it'd have to be James Harden for most people. What he's doing and the way that he's led this team with Chris Paul missing some games. I understand Harden missed some games himself, but, they've got the best record in the league. Their point differential, best in the league. Their offense is on pace to be the best in NBA history, and he's the centerpiece of it all. He's leading the league in scoring. He's putting up 40-point games left and right. He is long overdue for an MVP award. I won't say that, he deserved it over Curry or over Westbrook when they won it, but I will say that he has been deserving of the MVP award in 2 years, and in this third one, I think he's finally going to get it. Just because I think Anthony Davis is making a late push right now, but his team is still 6th in the West, and they've got a long way to go to kind of keep climbing those rankings. LeBron, we've all seen the Cavs struggles, their up and down season, and I don't know if it'd feel right giving it to him over Harden at this point. And, it's just, and Giannis, the same thing with Anthony Davis. He's putting up absurd numbers and is probably going to be a future MVP player. But the team success factor just isn't there yet this season. So I'd probably have to go with Harden, and I think most people are on that same page at this point.
Yeah, and I agree with that, too. Are you surprised at all the way Houston's been playing and how good they've been? There's questions that Harden and Paul may not be able to gel, but a lot of players have developed, and it seems like they've been just fine.
Yeah, I am pretty surprised. I didn't think it was going to be a disaster or a problem like a lot of people were worried about, but I thought it would take a little bit more time for everything to click into place. It kind of happened pretty instantaneously and was the exact same when Chris Paul came back from his injury. So it's really impressive the way they've been able to chug along with Harden and CP3 missing time, and Clint Capella too. It's terrifying that this team is, I think they're 30-1 when the big three plays, which is just absurd. I think the Warriors at their peak are still the best team in the NBA, but if they don't get to that point, if they continue to coast like they kind of have off and on for this season.
Gerald, I want to close with a quick game of Would You Rather. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios, and I just want you to pick which one you prefer. First, would you rather start a franchise with Donovan Mitchell or Ben Simmons? 2 very good rookies, probably the front runners for Rookie of the Year. Who would you rather start a franchise with, Donovan Mitchell or Ben Simmons?
That is a tough one. I'm probably going to go with Ben Simmons, and I know a lot of, if there are any Jazz fans listening, are going to judge me because I'm a Suns guy. There's a whole war going on between Jazz and Suns Twitter over Devin Booker versus Donovan Mitchell. But I'm going to go with Simmons. I think he just is so well-rounded and so good for having so little experience. And not to say that Mitchell isn't, but, Simmons is doing things that Magic Johnson did, and he doesn't have a jump shot yet. If he gets one of those, he's going to be absurdly good. Love Mitchell. I love his upside. He's going to develop into a well-rounded playmaker as well. But right now, Simmons is just the whole package for me.
Who do you have your money on, Houston Rockets or the Golden State Warriors? We've kind of talked about that, but who would you rather bet your money on? Which team, the Rockets or the Warriors?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I've been on the record since November as saying that I think the Rockets can legitimately challenge the Warriors, but, man, they're half a game behind the Rockets in the standings, and they've been playing at like 70% all year. So I got a smart money still on the Warriors as of right now.
Last one. You're on deadline. Would you rather have to edit 30 articles in one night or write a 3,000-word article in one night? So you're on deadline. Edit 30 or write one 3,000-word article in one night?
Oh, I'd definitely rather write one 3,000-word article in a night. The night of the NBA draft, I'm pretty sure, because we did draft grades for all 30 teams, so I had to edit those, and then I wound up writing like an 8,000-word piece in that night.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so 3,000, I can handle that, I think.
Oh, that's nothing for you then. Okay. Well, Gerald Bourget, thanks for jumping on. Editor of Hoops Habit does a fantastic job. Remind people of where they can find you.
Yeah, well, you can find me and Ryan's content on hoopshabit.com, and then I am also on Twitter at GeraldBourguet.
Gerald, thanks a lot for stopping by. We appreciate it. We'll be right back with a very exciting special guest. A Winter Olympian will be joining us in just a second on Completely Serious.
This is Katie, co-host of Coffee with Keith and Katie here on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Coffee with Keith and Katie, where we talk about the adventures of our daily lives and relationship. A new show comes out every Tuesday and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Coffee with Keith and Katie. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
You see, this is when the dog come over and...
We're back.
Oh, it's...
Back here on Completely Serious. Thanks for sticking with us. First off, again, thanks to Gerald Bourget for jumping on, the editor.
Yes, Gerald. Very good.
Our guests don't know each other. You know what? They may actually know each other in a past life.
I know of Gerald. I not know him, though. I know of Gerald. He don't know me.
Gerald Bourget from Hoops Habit. Now we have our second guest on. And you know I'm very excited about this one because I'm such a big fan of the Olympics, and I'm a big fan of curling. And we have a professional curler on our episode today. Victor, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Victor Shnifivivick.
Victor Shnifivivick. How many chiches are in that last part of your name?
Is between 2 and 5.
Victor
You Americans never get the pronunciation correct.
Victor, who's quick with the chides to Americans, that's okay though, we accept that, on Completely Serious, is on the podcast today, and he is a professional curler from Russia.
Salud.
Can I say, though, that you were on the Russian curling team, or is that inaccurate to say because of the ban?
No, we are not Russian curling team, you understand? We are the Olympic athletes from Mother Russia.
What do you think about that? Because when that came out, I thought that was kind of... A lot of people thought it was kind of silly, because it's like you're saying you're banned, but you're not banned.
Well, you see, the silly Sochi get us in trouble, because we get banned from Olympics for doping. It not make any sense whatsoever.
Wait, you don't understand the seriousness of doping, right? I mean, you were given a competitive advantage.
Yes, because we winners in Russia. We all winners. You see, we never lose. When we lose, we choose it. We choose to tear down the wall because Gorbachev, he's strong, fearless leader. That wall, though, was a serious political divide between Russia and the rest of the world. There was a lot of people calling for that wall to be torn down. Oh, yes, the many people, like your Ronald Reagan. He good man, but he not Mother Russia strong. You see what I mean? Clarify this for me. You are pro the doping or against doping? You think it should be accepted, I guess, is what I'm asking you. I very, very pro-doping. Very pro-doping. We still get caught for doping, but I do not understand. We strong in Russia, but we even more strong when we dope. Take me through a doctor visit. So you walk into this room,
and they have a needle ready, and they are going, or maybe it's a pill in the pill form, and they are going to give you this enhancer. Do they just give it to you, or are you tested later on?
Well, you see, we get banned because Alexander Kroshnikik, he's double metal strip, and Bob Slater Narasirkis.
Alexander the Great Bobsledder, yes. Is he your friend?
No, yes. He
You had to think. It was a no, then a yes.
My teammate Alexander.
Okay.
He go in first, and he get busted for dope. And then they both go in, and the more go in, and they keep getting busted. I did not even get tested because they knew I had been doping before I even went in.
They didn't even test you. They took one look at you, and I can see that. I mean, you're extremely muscular.
Yes, thank you very much. You notice I strong. I strong like bull. Like a big ox.
Did you grow up on an ox farm? I feel like I read that in your Wikipedia page.
Yes, we grew up in ox farm. It's a very hard life.
On an ox farm. Like, you farmed oxes.
Yes, ox farm. You know, we grew up in the ox farm.
No, not in ox farm. Not the town ox farm. On an ox... You get what I'm saying, Victor?
Yes, no, in ox farm, yes.
Is my accent too thick for you?
No. We grow up in ox farm. They feed us the feed. Make us grow very strong.
What are we feeding you?
My parents, Vladimir and Bushka, they feed me to be strong curler someday. I destined from birth to be curler for the Mother Russia team of the Olympics.
What's it like training in Russia for the Olympics? What was that process like to be a training Olympic curler?
Well, you see here, Ryan. It's very cold all time in Russia. So really, you just have to practice your balance walking across frozen lake and river at Ox Farm. And eventually, you get good enough at it that you scoot ox, and they come to a center.
So you start with an ox, and then in a way you graduate more downward to a lighter object in the rock they use as curlers.
Yes, you work down to precision perfection.
I gotta admit, I've noticed that your voice gets lower as the interview has gone on. Can you describe that for me while you're doing that?
Yes, you see, we in Russia we have a thing where the more you speak as a man, the less manly you become. So I have to maintain my manly gruff is a gruff.
It's like you've smoked a pack of cigarettes halfway through this interview.
Well, yes, you see, we have not like tobacco ban and you in America. You understand what I'm saying? So we smoke. I smoke like chimney since I'm 13 years old.
It's perfect for radio. You know, you got a very deep voice. And again, Victor, are you okay? Victor, do you need cough medicine or?
I am better now. I had to get some phlegm out of the throat from the cigars and cigarettes.
Victor, thank you again for jumping on our podcast. It is so great to talk to an Olympic athlete from Russia, a professional curler like yourself. What are your opinions on America, the rest of the world? Are you okay over there?
I have to sneeze and I go. Achoo!
There's snot dribbling out of your nose.
No, it helped keep my immune system clear.
Okay, all right.
I just smeared it on chest, the snot. It make you grow big and strong like man.
Do they do that in Russia?
Yes, we all, when it become winter time and the nose gets runny, you let it run because it's good for your sinus. When you're on the ice, you just let it run, and it gives you a little extra slip to the curl.
I was going to say, I hear that is how you guys improve your curling work. You actually smear your mucus on the ice, and you train with it.
A good strategy. If we were not caught for doping, it would have been a snot. Somewhat of an unfair advantage, you understand.
Victor, I brought you on this podcast. I wanted to hear your story, but I also want to know your opinions on America, American sports, the Olympic Committee in general. Lay it out here. You know, I don't know how many will listen, how many will hear. I want you to be completely honest with me.
We love America. We love it so much we want to know more about your politics, you know what I mean? We want to get inside there and maybe help help from Mother Russia. So America, I love it very much, and I hope to continue in our efforts to help your elections. But at the same time...
wait, are you... Victor, and please stop me if I'm going too far. Are you one of the 13 Russians that was indicted about 2 weeks ago?
No. But I know them. They're very Russian. They're very strong. They're not strong physically, but mentally strong. Very strong. They use their computers, and they very, very strong skills.
You said strong many times. That is a quality of Russians.
Yes, we are all strong.
Victor, I want to play one more game before we close out. It's called Would You Rather. And we like to play this game with our guests on almost every episode. And I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. I want you to tell me which one you would rather do. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather have to curl in an Egyptian desert where it is 120 degrees, or would you rather have to run 100 miles in your boxers, and I think I know which one you're going to pick, 100 miles in your boxers in the frozen tundras of Antarctica?
Easy. Boxers in Antarctica. Yeah. The winters in Russia are very brutal, and the way that we train is we sometimes will strip down to just our underwear to really become one with the nature. It gives us more strength for the curl.
You, and I'm picturing your curling team in your boxers, and you are by far and away are the best looking ones. Some of your teammates are quite they're butter faces, let's put it that way.
It did not stop them from being strong and good at curling. So
Victor, what's your last name again? Nishkapov?
No, it's Soshishins.
Victor Shoshishin, thanks for jumping on Completely Serious.
Victor Soshishins.
Victor Shoshishin.
Victor Soshishins.
Thank you for jumping on Completely Serious. It was such an honor to have you on here. He's getting real close to the mic right now.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
No, you don't have to get that close to the microphone. No, you don't have to.
I want to be heard.
No, you can be heard back. You can be heard back over there.
But I want to make sure that people can hear my farewell.
Thank you. That's farewell from Victor. Thank you for... No, Victor, don't eat it.
Thank you.
Thank you for... No, Victor, our time's up, Victor. Thank you for tuning in to Completely Serious, and we'll talk to you next week.
Salute.